Okay, welcome everyone. Good to have you here. My name's Raul Carvajal. We're super happy to have y'all present here. It's my pleasure to welcome you to Agog House, to our monthly community meetup. And for those watching on YouTube, hello. We're super happy to have you watching the stream as well. I'm going to start off with just a couple of announcements. And that's really just going to start off by talking about our work. So Agog is a new philanthropic organization, and our work is split across three particular verticals. We connect and convene XR creators. We support creators through philanthropic grants as well. And then, of course, we share what we learn as an organization through the formation of resources that we can publish back to community. And our ultimate mission, of course, is to use XR for social good with an emphasis on climate change, food justice, indigenous knowledge, and human rights. You can stay updated on what we're up to by joining our newsletter. That's probably the best place for it, as well as our social media channels. You can go to agog.org and you'll see a Connect with Us newsletter right there for you. I'll start with a couple of other reminders just as it relates to the session today and some other stuff that Agog's got going on. So we'll be doing 20 or 25 minutes of a session with our panelists here from Black Public Media's PitchBLACK event. So we're super excited to be showcasing them. We'll hear from them for about 20-25 minutes, and then of course we'll do some Q&A and mixer right after that. So at the end of the hour, definitely encourage y'all to connect with one another and keep chatting. We'll also be skipping our June event due to Tribeca Immersive, which we've partnered with Tribeca and Onassis ONX on. A bunch of the team will be out in New York for that. And so we'll be skipping the June event. We'll see you back here in July. And of course, if you've got any feedback for us as it relates to the session and getting in and out of this space, we're super eager to hear it. We've got a survey that'll go out afterwards, so please hit that if you can, or reach out to anybody from Agog and share your thoughts. That's also welcome. My last plug is that we've recently launched our Discord. Big ups to our team member Vanessa for getting that off the ground. You should receive an invite in your email, but you can also go to agog.org/Discord to join. And we certainly hope to see you there. My last reminder here, we partnered with Vèvè-Immersive, and I'm going to encourage and remind everybody who's interested to actually apply to the Impact residency that we've launched XR for Impact by Immersive, and you can learn more about that at the Agog website as well. Okay, now on to the main show. I'd love to welcome our speakers. We've got Lisa Osbourne, the head of Black Public Media's emerging media programs. Aya is the creator of Rhythmic Wave II, and Dominick Rabrun, the creator of Vèvè-Punk Mind Singer. Before they come on stage, we're going to play a quick video, and that's going to show off PitchBLACK. So please, let's play that, and then we can have our speakers come on stage.
Check, are you guys seeing the video?
Welcome everybody, and who's here in VRChat with us. I'm Lisa Osbourne, the Director of Emerging Media for Black Public Media. And today we have with me Aya, who is based out of the Bay Area or LA? LA.
Los
Angeles. She is an artist, a creative technologist, a data scientist. And we also have Dominick Rabrun, who is based out of Maryland, and he is an artist. Hello as well to everybody who's watching on the live stream on YouTube. Thank you for joining us. I wanted to tell you quickly a little bit about who Black Public Media is as an organization and what the BPM Plus department focuses on. Black Public Media is a nonprofit of federal 501(c) that's based out of New York. We have an office in Harlem. We were founded in 1979, and we support independent media makers who create content about the Black experience. We primarily fund people, narrative, like documentary filmmakers making feature-length docs and short docs about the Black diaspora. The BPM Plus department, which is the one that I supervise, was founded in 2018, building off of previous work at Black Public Media, where Black Public Media has long been an early adopter of new technologies. They were probably, if not the first, one of the first organizations in the public media system to, for example, greenlight web series back in the day. So I joined the organization in 2018. Thank you, Vanessa. I love the hearts. And since then, we have built a really beautiful community of makers who are based all around the world. We probably have about 24 people at this point, maybe a little bit more. They come from a broad variety of backgrounds. I could describe them as probably a third of them are filmmakers who, a lot of them went to film school, either for undergrad or graduate school, for their MFA. A third of the people are technologists or creative technologists who perhaps have a degree from a place like ITP at NYU. And the remaining third are people who come from a variety of professional and creative backgrounds. They might be fine artists, like Dom, for example, is a painter and an illustrator. The BPM program runs several programs, including PitchBLACK. We have a residency that we host with the Johnny Carson Center for Emerging Media at University of Nebraska-Lincoln, which is an amazing program where we bring artists to the campus every summer to basically get crash courses in particular technologies and to level up their skill set, and just to have community with each other. The staff and the team at the Carson Center are incredible and have been really great and easy to work with. We have also done immersive workshops in New York, where we will bring some of the artists to New York to basically do venue visits of immersive studios, for example, places like commercial spaces like Zero Space in Brooklyn, and non-commercial spaces like Manhattan Neighborhood Network's amazing facility that they have in Hell's Kitchen. We run a boot camp, which I believe Aya has been through, but Dom has not been through. The boot camp is a 4-day, weekend-long professional development pitch training. It's a pitch training intensive for both our filmmakers as well as our immersive makers. And this year and last year we had 11 projects and 11 teams that came to the boot camp. We usually host it within an hour at a facility within an hour from our home base in New York. And it's just a really great opportunity for the makers to practice their existing pitch in whatever, state it's in at that point, which is about 2.5 months before PitchBLACK, and to really get great peer-to-peer feedback, as well as feedback from professionals that Black Public Media brings in from all over the country, frankly, to help them level up their ability to pitch and help them level up their careers. PitchBLACK itself is a probably the premier competition that has 2 tracks that focuses on Black content specifically. It has a film track and it has a immersive track. And so it's basically 2 contests together, staged over a single day, usually in New York so far. And this year was no different. We had 6 film competitors and we had, 5 film competitors, projects competing, and we had 6 immersive projects competing. Aya, who won the immersive contest this year, give it up for Aya, with her project Rhythmic Wave II. So Aya won a $50,000 grant from Black Public Media, which is incredible. And we're really excited to see what she's going to do with those resources and what kind of resources that funding can bring to the table for her. With that said, we're going to kick off. We're going to show you 3 pitch presentations today, and then we'll have 20 minutes of Q&A, as Raul had mentioned at the end. First up, we are going to share with you Aya's pitch, winning pitch from PitchBLACK this year, which is Rhythmic Wave II.
Hey there, I'm Aya, a Nigerian-American new media artist. When I was 6, my mom passed away, and learning traditional dance from my aunts became my lifeline to her. What gets lost when we lose someone? The traditions that made us feel connected. Now in my 30s, that question drives this work. How do we keep our traditions from fading away? I explore that question in Galactic Rio, a story I co-wrote with AI, set in Nigeria 5054, where solar towers breathe like trees, sky bridges glow, and palm fronds sway beside the glass wall that shift with the sun. In this world, we meet Idara, an artist who creates AI dancers to archive and remix her people's movements. But when she's invited to perform on planet Etheria, Nigerian leaders fear tradition will become spectacle. Her dad warns, "Don't let our legacy be lost in the quantum void." To Idara, technology isn't the enemy, it's how legacy survives. Even as her dad urges her to stay, she leaves, determined to prove that tradition won't be lost, but preserved and reimagined. In Aya's Rhythmic Wave 1, I step into Idara's role, performing with one AI dancer, to explore that story through movement. But tradition isn't meant to stand still, it grows through community. This is why I'm creating Rhythmic Wave II, a 3-channel immersive installation where audiences step into Nigeria 5054, experiencing dance as both archive and performance. Built in Unreal Engine, the show runs for 15 to 20 minutes and can be experienced 2 ways. As a 3-channel installation where AI dancers generate new choreography.
Awesome. So the pitch video, the entire pitch video is 4 minutes long, and I encourage everybody to go watch the entire video on Black Public Media's Vimeo channel. There's a showcase there of all the pitches. All 6 pitches are grouped together, and there might be, check the chat for this in YouTube to see the link for that, the full pitch video. Aya, your video is such a great video, and I want to, the judges, they couldn't get enough of it, and they really thought that you offered the full package. In terms of, you explained why you were making the piece, who you're making the piece for, how you're making the piece, the fact that it had 2 different formats. I think I want to know, could you share with us what you were trying to accomplish with the project in the next 6 months, like between now and the end of the rest of the year?
Yeah, so within the next 6 months, I want to basically get all the groundwork to do the field research in Nigeria, because our goal is to go to Nigeria next year and work with 3 different dance groups and capture dance moves from 5 different ethnic groups with motion capture. So really just booking the flights, confirming the places in Nigeria, and confirming the relationships, because we plan to also work with the Ministry of Culture and Tourism in each state, because we plan to build out a dance dictionary around the dances.
Got it. And are there any roles that you're trying to hire or for your crew in the next 3 months?
Yeah, I would say, as you saw in the beginning of this pitch, there's a great story that starts, and I would love to bring on a writer to really expand the story and really bring in the different ethnic groups that we're bringing into the data set, so that it's a really expansive story that represents the full experience.
Okay, cool. That makes sense. Thank you so much. Up next, we have a sci-fi game that's being developed by artist Jeremy Kamal, who splits his time between the United States and Germany currently. Jeremy's project, Run, focuses on a man whose car breaks down. When he wakes up, he finds that the car is surrounded by a wildfire, and he has no choice but to run home through the smoldering grasslands. Let's take a look at the pitch video, the first half of the pitch video for Run.
When was the last time you were lost? For me, it was after recently leaving a stable teaching career to pursue my art full-time. After getting used to a regular check, a predictable routine, and a comfortable lifestyle, I felt stagnated by the pressure and uncertainty that came with charting my own path. This experience inspired my project, Run, a 1-hour third-person sci-fi adventure game where players must move first in order to see where to go. The game follows a complacent loner who is tethered to his life of comfort until a wildfire swallows the world he understood, leaving him lost in a fuming grassland with a pair of strange shoes that reveal the path forward, but only when he moves. In a landscape where wildfires double as barbecue pits and drones deliver perfectly charred meals directly to you, Runnifer, aka Run, enjoys a life of convenience. But during a routine stop at his favorite eating spot, he stubbornly ignores a smoke hazard warning before drifting into a food coma and awakening in a fuming grassland. His self-driving car unresponsive, he grabs a mysterious box from the back seat. Inside, a strange pair of shoes with a note that reads, "Run, LOL, love Gina." The moment he puts them on, they make a metallic clicking sound, causing surrounding objects to resonate. Upon walking, he discovers something even more remarkable. The faster he moves, the better he can sense his surroundings through sound. Play as Run, a recluse who values one thing above all, peace of mind. He lives in a false sense of harmony, avoiding life's discomforts through his routine. But when his peaceful world is swallowed in a smoke cloud too big to avoid, he must face the fact that the only way out is through. The player's goal is to help Run find his way. This is done through a core gameplay loop that involves navigating through smoke, avoiding obstacles, and locating open spaces to rest, recover, and explore before the encroaching wildfire forces you to run again. Players repeat this loop with increasing difficulty until they fully escape the wildfire's reach.
That was the first half of the pitch for the 4-minute pitch for Run, which is a sci-fi adventure game by Jeremy Kamal. I encourage you to go to Black Public Media's account on Vimeo to watch the entire pitch video and to also watch the entire pitch video for Aya's project, Rhythmic Wave II. Up next, I would love to have Dominick Rabrun, who pitched his project at PitchBLACK Immersive 2023 when it was still called Kiesuyi. His project is a historical adventure game, and we're going to have Dom come up and take us through his current pitch video.
Hey everyone, thanks for being with me here in virtual space. It's nice to see everybody. Vèvè-Punk Mind Singer is a single-player game that'll be created via Unity and available for purchase on Steam. This game is going to take place in 18th century Saint-Domingue, which is now Haiti. You'll be playing as Fabienne, who is a telepathic singer from a secret maroon village, also of telepaths. One of the features I'm excited about us developing is that we're creating a battle system that takes place within dialogue. And you can see the development of that on the upper right. Now, this game takes place right at the outbreak of the Haitian Revolution, putting you right in the action. Here we can see Fabienne, the hero. PitchBLACK is your wisecracking sidekick, who you also knew when you were a child. You haven't seen him in a couple of years. And this is the villain, Major Montrevel, who is a telepathic super soldier sent by Napoleon to subjugate the island. And you are the one thing standing in between him and what he wants to accomplish. Vèvè-Punk is a new visual style that I created. It blends Haitian influences with speculative art. Two of the great indie games that we've been using for inspiration for this game are Kentucky Route Zero from 2013 and Slay the Princess from 2013. Kentucky Route Zero is an influence in terms of narrative structure and the very unique art style that they were able to, the very unique art style used in the game. And Slay the Princess is an inspiration because of the massive success that such a small team was able to accomplish. Now, so far, we've been able to successfully raise $15,000 for the R&D from Black Public Media, as well as Washington Project for the Arts and Maryland State Arts Council. Now we're looking for $25,000 for the vertical slice of the game. Here's a breakdown of the budget for the vertical slice and how it will be used, and also the personnel. And this is a list of the deliverables. During this phase, we're going to be building 2 finished levels of this game, which is going to equal about 30 minutes of gameplay. The estimated budget for the whole game's completion is $245,000. To see a more complete version of the deck and more details about the game, including conceptual art and a lot of other information about this game, please reach out to me. And you can also visit domrabrun.com/mindsinger. That's DOMRABRUN.com/MINDSINGER. And you can always email me at projects, that's PROJECTS @domrabrun.com. Thank you all so much. I'm looking forward to meeting you and talking with you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Dom. All right. Does anybody have any questions? And is there a way to get questions from the chat on YouTube and for somebody from Agog to voice those questions? Or is that...
I'll be your connection there.
Lovely. All right. Does anybody in the audience in VRChat have any questions?
Well, firstly, congratulations to everybody. This is brilliant. Just I'm super excited to see this, and I was really excited to see Aya because I've known Aya for a few years now, and huge congrats to you, Aya. But I just would love to hear a little bit about how you found that kind of transition in terms of the storytelling, because I know that you've been in the sort of AI space for a little while, but when it came to the storytelling, that was always something that we kind of had spoken about. So I'd love to hear from you. I think a lot of people could learn from that, about your experience of creating the narrative for this.
Yeah, for sure. And yeah, Mary and I, we've workshopped Rhythmic Wave before it even made its way to UCLA. I would say as I was preparing for the Rhythmic Wave 1, the feedback I got from a curator was literally that, what's the story? I was geeking all out about the tech and this new way of audience participation, but there wasn't a strong story. So I took some time to honestly just write out the story. But then I would say the pitch bootcamp through Black Public Media really helped me to crystallize how to communicate the story in the experience. We had a lot of different sessions where we pitched the experience, and I just got pretty live feedback of not fully understanding it and understanding how I'm a part of the story, things like that. And then we also had something which I hope more people do, is we had a creative therapist, and each of the makers had a session with her. And I think that really leveled up my pitch, because that's really when I brought in my mother's story into the pitch, and I never fully saw that connection. But then as I was workshopping with the coach, realizing why does this matter? Why does this matter to me? Where is this clear connection? And through honestly PitchBLACK and the fellowship, just really understanding the story and me and how people will connect with that. And really, and the question is also well, why should other people care about that? And so just all those questions really pushed me to think of the universal experience here as well.
Excellent question. Thank you. And excellent answer. I love that you referenced the boot camp, because a lot of the other artists also had breakthroughs, creative breakthroughs and pitch breakthroughs during the boot camp or immediately afterward. Does anybody else in the audience in VRChat have a question?
Yes, hi, and congratulations. These look fantastic. I can't wait to check out the pitches. But just for clarification, are both Run and Vèvè-Punk games?
They are, yeah. They're both experimental. Vèvè-Punk Mindsinger is a click and point game for PC, and it's going to be distributed on, I think, built in Unity and distributed on Steam. And Run is also going to be a PC game first, and it's also experimental. And I think he's building it in Unreal.
Great. And my follow-up question for Jeremy was, what was your inspiration? I mean, we live in LA. I mean, so just thinking about being surrounded by those fires is not.
Jeremy is in Germany, so it's midnight or 12:30 at night there right now. So if I remember, and Aya could jump in based on what he said during boot camp, but I think his inspiration was just seriously wanting to make a career change, to commit to being an artist full time, and how, because he's trained as a landscape architect. And so, and he also teaches. And so trying to walk away from, that regular paycheck and, a sort of assured stability to making the leap to being a full-time artist and betting on yourself for at least a year to try to, build something from scratch. I think he has said in multiple sessions that that was kind of a scary transition that took him a while to come up with it. And yes, I don't doubt that living on the West Coast is where the fire inspiration came in, as that being the villain in the story, which I love.
But and my last one, sorry, and then I'll give up the talking stuff. But I mean,
no worries.
I really am intrigued by Dominick's as well. What was your inspiration for your game? And I love your Haitian inspired art, by the way.
Thank you. Yeah, it's there. I have a big answer to that. I've been developing this with BPM for a long time. I mean, when I met Lisa, it was so different. My inspiration, in short, is that I'd like to enter myself sort of into the canon of Haitian art and writers and so many creators who have inspired me. There really is no singular Haitian game created by someone of Haitian descent. The only one I can think of that's remotely close is it was an expansion on Assassin's Creed, and it was made by white Canadians from Ubisoft. And it's cool that game exists, but it's super violent, very traditional in terms of like how it presents the revolution. I mean, it's like you're stabbing people, slicing their throats, and all that stuff. And I really wanted to make something that only I could make and is unique to my experience. And my POV, and I wanted to create something historical that was also very much a nod to Octavia Butler and Edward Danticat. Like I love telepaths in any form, so it was kind of a no-brainer for me to try and create something with telepaths historically. So yeah, I'm really excited about this project. Thank you for your question.
We had a question from the YouTube stream about Vèvè-Punk as well. Someone's wondering, since you mentioned Steam, whether or not they're able to wishlist right now, or if that's coming soon.
Right, we're not there yet. Yes, it will. I would definitely let you know. Please visit that link. I will update you on there, and I also have a newsletter. I will definitely let you all know when it's available. We're in the R&D phase though right now.
And then we've got not a question, but a separate comment. They're welcoming everybody to Africa. This is the Africa VR campus and center based in rural Kenya. So there's an open invite for anybody interested.
Awesome.
That is so cool.
That's super cool.
I actually have a question about Vèvè-Punk as well, which was back to the inspiration from the other games, the two that you had listed.
Yes.
Kentucky Route Zero is like a big personal fave, and I appreciate narratively how that's influenced. And I believe you have another RPG that was referenced from like the art style.
Yes.
Can you speak a bit more about how you're integrating there?
Yeah, Slay the Princess, as I mentioned, was made by a small team. I mean, it was an artist and a programmer. It's a couple. And the way they made so much with so little in terms of flat 2D animations, and there's pretty much only one character that you see, the princess, and she has multiple forms that you sort of you interact with. In Vèvè-Punk, one of the cool features I'm excited about is that you get to choose one of 3 Vodou Lois who have been inhabiting you since you were a child, and that's going to change Fabienne a little bit cosmetically, but they're vastly. We're hoping for hopefully not a super vast change in each playthrough, but how you look at the world, how you sing and interact with people, and the combat will be changed based on the law you've chosen. So this is kind of the the laws of Voodoo spirit. So if you've played Final Fantasy, it's kind of like a summon that is inside of your mind and body and inhabiting you. So similarly to Slay the Princess or Disco Elysium, this will affect the text, which is a cheap way for us to strongly affect the game. This is kind of the ways that we're trying to think about designing the game.
So when you put up your what size crew is going to build the vertical slice? Is it 6 people, 8 people? How many people is it?
I believe it's going to be about 5 people. Yeah,
Okay.
including-
And then when you have full funding and are able to move into production on the full game, how many people would that be?
Including musicians and sound designers, I think that's going to, and if you include QA and stuff like that, it's probably going to increase by 4 or something like that, 3 or 4. Yeah, I'm going to try and keep it as tight as possible.
Got it. And then what 2 positions are you currently looking for candidates for?
Well, we have a great narrative designer who we're onboarding. The next position that I'm onboarding is or looking for actively is a 2D environment designer who's specifically able to reproduce the style of African and Caribbean style 2D art, 2D paintings. And I think second would probably be a sound designer. Because we're going to have the way the sound interacts with the game is going to be very important.
Okay. And the sound designer will be separate from the composer.
Yes.
Okay,
so
got it.
someone's going to have to integrate all the SFX with the code of the game. Like when do things come up? How do they interact with the dialogue and all that stuff?
Got it. Do we have any other questions from those of you who are here present in VRChat before I go back to the YouTube audience?
So I'm really interested in the art style of Vèvè-Punk and trying to get an understanding of what I'll see when I play the game. Is the artwork, is it all like still 2D paintings, or will it have some depth? Will it animate? I'd just love to get an understanding of what I'm going to see as I click through the game.
That's a great question. You're going to that image that you saw on the upper right, that's what you're going to be seeing. You're going to be seeing, you're going from a map, like a world map, to clicking someone, and then the UI, that UI on the sort of 75% of your window is going to come up and allow you to interact with your, I call it a mind inventory, your dialogue, and some of your menu items.
So for example, Dom, like if you have, I've seen some of the concept art, Manglebird. So for example, a market scene. If I click on a particular person in the market scene, what would happen if I was Manglebird?
Right. Your camera is going to zoom in, and then the UI is going to cover up 75% of the screen, and you'll get your dialogue options. And most importantly, that character who looked kind of like a blurry, not blurry, but expressionist simple figure is going to zoom in as well and look, oh great, I think there's
the next slide. Yeah,
right, that character is going to zoom in, and I don't know if you've played Fallout 2, games like that, like it will, the character is going to fill in that screen, maybe, that one on the upper right. So you're going to go from a larger map to zooming in and getting this dialogue, because the game's going to take place in dialogue with characters, including the battles, as opposed to
there we go. Yeah, that one.
Hack and slash, that kind of thing.
That upper right is what he's talking about.
Yeah, totally. Thank you.
Okay,
makes sense. All right, dope.
I think we're clear. We just are seeing some other congratulations for the projects here and asking folks to keep up the good work. Thank you, Terry, for that.
Are there any links in the chat?
Are there any links in the chat? I'm not seeing them at the moment.
Got it. Okay. Well, I just want to encourage everybody to go to blackpulpitmedia.org, go to under events to PitchBLACK. And when you go to the PitchBLACK section, you can go to click on PitchBLACK Immersive. You'll see all 6 projects and people who competed this year in the competition. You will also see a QR code for each project where you can donate directly to the project of your choice if you want to support that person and help them get to the next stage of their production. In addition, if you go to the Black Public Media account on Vimeo, you will find a showcase that has all 6 pitch videos there ready for you to watch them. They're really fantastic. People kept telling me this year how this year's bunch just felt like there wasn't a weak pitch out of the 6, basically. Like, it was an incredibly strong cohort. So I encourage you to, watch them while you eat lunch tomorrow. I think that'd be great. Do we want to transition to the mixer? Okay, cool. Because it felt like it was about that 20.
Ask just one? Sorry, can I ask?
Oh, go ahead, question? Vanessa.
Just a question, Lisa. Like, have you noticed since you introduced? Well, sorry. First, 2 questions.
Okay, 2 questions.
What year did you introduce the immersive component of PitchBLACK?
We introduced immersive pitches in 2021, but we did not have any money yet to give away. So we called it PitchBLACK Immersive Showcase. Okay. We had 6 people do presentations and pitch videos, which were all fantastic. They're also all of each year's pitch videos are on the Vimeo site. So anybody who's bored and wants to go watch the pitch videos, they're all pretty killer. And then what's your second question?
Part 2 is just over the years, if you've really seen like a drastic trend and increase in the number of creators who are interested in submitting in the immersive section, and if that's like growing, and also what you're hearing from the community as to like what their biggest needs are as they transition into that.
Got it. Okay, so it's like 3 questions.
Sorry.
To wrap up the first question, we had the showcase in 2021 during COVID when we staged PitchBLACK as an entirely online event. And then in 2022, we actually had raised some funding. So we were able to give away a $50K first prize and a $25K second prize. And that's pretty much what we've continued to give away each subsequent year. And those are not cash prizes. Those are grants, which are tied to the makers have to, give us schedules, budgets, a project plan, essentially. And then we customize a contract to each person's project plan. Regarding your question about whether or not the applications to join the BPM Plus community have gone up over the since 2018, they haven't actually. I'd say they've been pretty steady. What's interesting and what has changed is the quality of the applications. We don't get so many now of the what I'll call wild swings, where people are just going for it. They have no idea what they're talking about, but they see that there's a contest and they're just gonna apply no matter what. I call those people the looky-loo people. We don't get so many of those anymore. For example, this year, what was really noteworthy, there were 2 really noteworthy things about the field in immersive. Number 1 is that we only had 1 first-time creative technologist. Usually it's like half and half, but we had 5 people this year who've already made at least 1 project, and most of them, frankly, have made 2, 3, 4 projects by this point. They're very experienced creative technologists. I think we only had 1 person who had 2 people who had a film degree, which again was unusual because usually 3 to 4 people have film degrees, and this year they were in the minority. The second noteworthy thing for this year's field was 5 narrative projects pitching, which was incredible because usually it's like either half docs and nonfiction or probably 80% nonfiction, and then maybe 2 narrative projects or 0 narrative projects. This year, almost the entire field were narrative projects. So that was also a marked change compared to what we've seen in previous years. Does that answer all your questions, Vanessa?
Absolutely, and super interesting to hear. Thank you.
Okay, no problem. Any last things before we adjourn and drink virtual invisible cocktails? Are we good? We're good. I'm getting the thumbs up sign. Thank you, everybody who has been watching either in VRChat or on YouTube. We really appreciate you showing up today. Please visit Black Public Media on Vimeo and blackpublicmedia.org to check out the PitchBLACK Immersive section. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Woo! Thank you.
Thank you.
Great questions, too.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Yeah.